Okay.
Okay. And we are live.
Hello.
Hey,
You already need
everybody.
here to do not my stream.
Yeah, it's gonna
Sorry. Go
do.
ahead.
It's gonna do his stream. My section of his stream, I guess you can say.
Which I appreciate you doing, by the way, since I was spending time fixing my house for after 6 years of not doing that, and which I've actually done, by the way. I painted and fixed the wall, and you'll see in the next month's video. I'll talk about that some more briefly.
Yeah, get more caught up on things. Yeah, who knows what's going on these days? Because who has time for anything?
Exactly. I always spent the entire month either working on a video or playing games, and my house is falling apart around me. So I'm like, yeah, you should take a month off and do that. Yeah.
And I should work on videos more, but I don't. Far too busy trying to keep myself alive.
Yeah, that too. And life gets in the way. But yeah, I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
do what you can, and
Yeah, no matter what you
yeah,
do, life gets in the way.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, other than that, what's going on, Miles? What are we doing today?
Well, there was some expressed interest in seeing some of my animation work, like what I do behind the scenes to actually put those together. And I was hoping that maybe we could like kick around some ideas to hopefully get, you know, I kind of want to come up with some new characters, like new versions, because the little boxy version I have of you is kind of limited in his range of motion, and I kind of wanted to maybe come up with a better idea. Maybe a more instead of because right now it's more Jackie Chan Stunt Masters PS1 style, and maybe move away from that and then go maybe towards more of a Resident Evil zombie style. A little bit more human-like instead of box-like. I don't know.
You mean PS1 zombie Resident Evil
Yeah,
style?
but it's still got to be PS1. It's the style. It's our style. So
Retro, yeah. Yeah, yeah, like the background he made for me, this Please Stand By background he made for me with Tombstone and the ships and all that. That's really
yeah,
cool.
so I'll bring that up here.
The anonymous
Oh, and
artist says, "Love the desktop background." One with the bird.
yeah, the bird background. Yeah,
But I actually didn't read this.
I have a lot of backgrounds. I have an entire folder in my Google Drive dedicated to just wallpaper. It's called Wallpaper Dump, and it's just as I find cool wallpapers, I throw them in there, and I try to keep them not too bright because I always like to have dark mode. And it always sucks when you have a dark background and then Windows shifts to something else that's super bright and it's like just
Yeah, I know that
burns your
feeling.
retinas out.
I gotta update my wallpaper series. So some of them are like going on 10 years old, and I haven't updated it in years. I'm just lazy. But yeah, I know what you mean in terms of being like some of them are just too bright now. Like I guess my eyes are getting more sensitive as I get older. And dark mode everything.
Yeah, silent dock. For one, okay, I'm gonna go through a few of these things here. I actually had to recover um, the entire animation of the boat because when you pointed out that the boat kind of just stopped at one point, I had to go back and I was gonna fix it, but every single time I loaded it, it crashed Blender, and I had no idea why. So I ended up having to start a brand new project file and import all the content out of the original and into another one, and then so it was actually called recover.
Why
So I
was it
actually had to
taking you
recover
forever?
everything. It took better part of a day, and
Oh
I
God,
still could not
feel
figure out
bad
why the
now.
original broke. But I'm glad I found out. Otherwise, I would go back
Oh,
one day and it just wouldn't work, and I'd have no idea what to do. So I created Silent Dock. So
yeah.
this is the original, and then the intro like rebuild files that I have included. But the Tombstone, I actually took the screenshot and I imported it, and then I lined everything up. The scale is a little bit off right now, but that's how I ended up making this Tombstone. So it's an actual 3D model.
A good old Atari 800 Robin Hood Tombstone. Never
And I
forgot
did
that as a kid.
and I did that because I wanted to make sure the scale was right. Otherwise, you'd be like, okay, I know it looks like what you want it to be, but it didn't really look right. But then, it took a bit when I got it going. But let's see if the silent dock here will open.
Yeah, I have a better. Well, it looks perfectly fine. I mean, I have a better picture of the tombstone now that I have. Like, that's a really old tombstone picture from like a billion years ago when I couldn't emulate properly or didn't have the right tools to capture screenshots and everything.
Okay, I think this is where I was just doing the animations. Yeah, I think that's what this one is. Yeah, I was just creating all the various animations and using them as like action. Like you can create actions, which is like a library of different things, and this way you can lay them out together in the nonlinear animation style section. So this way, if I needed to reuse an animation, I could just click on it and just say repeat an X number of times, and it would just keep doing it. It's how you get walk cycles to work. So you just animate them taking one step on each leg, and then it creates an action. You create an action of it, and then you can just loop the action over and over again, and they just keep walking in place. I keep hitting my mic. I don't know why I do that.
I don't even hear you hitting it. Something.
All right, so
Yes, super pro mic. But yeah, no, I always watch whenever you show me your Blender things. I'm like above my head, but at the same time, has a lot of Premiere elements in it, like the timeline and the what's the word I'm looking for? When you put those points in it, what are they called? The markers. What's the name of it? But anyway, yeah. I mean, I never understood Blender and
I
3D
think I know what you're talking
rendering,
about.
and
I'm not sure.
I'm dumb. I can't think of the name. I'm put on the spot. I go blank.
Here.
Those little triangle diamond things in the timeline. What are they called again? Keyframes. That's it.
Keyframes. That's
There
what
you
I'm talking
go.
about. Keyframes. Yeah.
And ZX Becky says, "Hey Mylo, good to see you, man. Hey Gardini, mate, no. Hey guy, hey guy. I'm just gonna be guy. Hey ZX Becky, how you doing?
Yeah. Thanks for coming out with Specky. Yeah. This is the entirety of the intro doc set. I cheaped out on this one a lot because I kind of had it in my head what I wanted it to be, and what I was going for was going to be way too complicated, way too much work. So I dumbed it way down, and that's what this ended up being. And there is a YouTuber that I follow a lot for his low poly style, which is in Frenzia, and he has like a crazy interesting way of going about it, and I followed a lot of his tutorials in order to get a better I guess feel for low poly, and this renders so fast that like it's the fastest I've ever seen anything I've ever made render, and it's probably just because it uses such low poly, such simple shapes, and that it makes it so much easier. But I always like to throw in like the Blender monkey somewhere in the background.
Blender monkey?
Yeah, I'll show you.
What's a Blender monkey?
It's the Suzanne monkey.
The Suzanne monkey.
Yeah, it's the mascot. It's built into Blender. So if I were to add a mesh, there's a monkey, and that's the exact monkey. So it would give you this monkey head.
I didn't even know there was a Blender monkey. I had no idea. I wouldn't have recognized that unless you pointed it out.
Yeah,
and Chris is asking, whose tutorial did you follow?
In Frenzy. I'll bring them up here. Actually, I'll pop a new browser window.
In Frenzia?
Yeah. Let's go my YouTube here.
Yeah, I remember I had to ask you a couple times to help me with like LSD Dream Emulator and because these websites online to offer all these sprites and pictures from in the game, and for LSD Dream Emulator they only had like 3D models available, so I had to ask Bug U to render them for me.
I'm also on his Discord, so let me see if I can just get a quick link over here. Yeah. Let me copy that.
NC Expect, you said, hey, I'm okay, mate. I managed. Hope you are well. Yeah, we're good. Same old stuff. Anonymous artist said, interesting how they wouldn't make the Blender mascot a blender. Oh, right. Why wouldn't they make a Blender mascot a blender? Yeah.
I'm not really sure why it's Blender. Yeah, this is in Frenzy.
Just like someone else said to me, one of you guys said, "What for Clack 2K Classic? Why don't you make the C on Classic a K?" I'm like, oh, that would have made sense.
Yeah, that would.
I wish I thought of that originally. Oops.
Well, something we could change, I guess.
Yeah, I have to redo all the titles and everything. I'm too lazy for that.
No, just moving forward.
Yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah, he does these little 10-minute modeling challenges for himself, and it's really impressive. Like I went back. Oh, it's probably in his videos somewhere, but it's really far. You can see that there's a few that I would keep going back to, and how he's got these palettes, and his style of how to use the palette. So you load one picture, and you just essentially, take the faces that you want to be that color, and you just like shrink them down and put them in the UV editor on that one color, and it makes the whole thing that one color. It makes it so much easier to colorize a model very quickly. And the more detail you want, the more you just stretch it out across multiple colors. It's I don't know why I didn't think of it. It is that simple. Maybe that's why I didn't think of it, because it was so simple.
Chris said, I'm still at the stage of making a donut in Blender. New Blender 4.0, Blender Guru stuff.
Yeah, and I actually just saw that. Blender Guru just put out a new Blender tutorial for the more updated Blender. And I'm actually kind of surprised that I didn't hear anything about it until much later. When Blender 4.0 came out, they quickly had to release a 4.0.1 because there were some overlooked bugs that caused some serious crashes. But no one could get a copy of 4.0 because they got a DDoS attack. Like,
what?
Blender.
What's that?
Blender.org got a DDoS attack.
What's a DDoS attack? I'm
denial of service. So it's where people hammer your website so much it shuts down.
I mean, is that a good thing? Like they just desperately trying to download the application.
It seemed malicious. It wasn't because it was just constant requests, and because you can see in the traffic, from what I remember when I was hosting websites, that you can see that when people would ping the site but not do anything on it, they would just essentially ask, "Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?" And you would get millions of them in a second, and then it would clog up your website, and your website would perform really bad. It would get stuttery, and then next thing you know, your server just shuts down.
Oh, by the way, Chris says you could turn your mic level up. I guess it's very low in comparison. I don't have YouTube audio turned up, so I can't tell.
Yeah, I think I got my mic maxed out as it is.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, it's
maybe I'm too loud.
Yeah.
I got a big mouth.
Because bring that down. Just bring it down a bit. You're gonna have to whisper. You're gonna have to whisper. All right. Yeah. So, and I know you don't see it very well in the silent dock here, but the actual water going up and down, I use the ocean effect built into Blender, which makes it kind of like wobble. And it actually has a lot more geometry to it than it actually appears.
In the boat, you had to separately animate to go up and down with the water, right? Obviously.
Yes. Yeah. I pretty much just had to. I could have made it very easily. I could have added like a hook, marked one of the vertices as a hook, and then just had the boat follow the hook. And I only thought about that now. I was just like, I could have made that a hell of a lot easier. But it turns out it's no different, and this way I could actually control more of how I wanted it, because I didn't want it to just follow the water. I wanted it to act like it had weight, so it took a second for it to follow the water, and so it would have had to been dampened, and that would have just been more trial and error.
Right, so I guess it wouldn't go up exactly at the same time the water goes up. And so realistic.
Yeah. And even just to do key marks and stuff, like, so as I was animating this, see actually how far this, yeah, this should be the whole thing. Because if I play it, yeah, there you are. And it actually has, like, little speaker points, and that actually plays the sounds.
Uh-huh.
I still went over it again and redid the sounds in post, but this was just so I could get the timing right.
It's me! I can't be seeing it now, so there's a delay on my end. So
Yeah, there's a delay.
you probably showed this already, and I'm only seeing it now.
But yeah, the timing was right. But yeah, so you know, I was just relearning and learning again, and even the trying to. It was fun. I have to go back to that at the end. I had the tombstone follow the camera, so it appeared 2D. But it's like because of the motion of the camera and how it gets occluded very quickly by the boat, you don't even notice. It's a lot of wasted technique. Let me just give you a better view here.
Instant tombstone. Robin Hood instant death. That's how we should all go. That way you know for sure if you're dead.
Yeah, that's how everybody. Or if you want to follow the Rick and Morty universe, you just turn into spaghetti if you kill yourself.
What? I never watched Rick and Morty.
Yeah, the new season. When one of the episodes when people
going?
in another world, if people kill themselves, their insides turn into spaghetti bolognese, and but if they die of anything else that wasn't suicide, it's just a normal death.
That's weird. What the hell? I'm surprised the show's still going. How many years has the show been on now?
I think this is his 4th season.
That's it?
I think.
Oh, that was like 10 years it's been on.
Well, there was that controversy with Justin Roiland, so they kind of had to recast the voices for Rick and Morty, and which is they did find the right people because you can't really tell. At least I can't.
I don't know. Never watched it. It was old man powers is too much for me. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah. And one thing that no one caught on with is like the background for the silent dock is this big arc with a texture on it. That texture is ripped directly from Silent Hill.
Hang on, I'll have to wait for my video to catch up to see what you're talking about.
Actually, I went on one of those sites that you go to get like the LSD Dream.
Oh, the background. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's really cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I went on the same site and I just went through all the different games and found Silent Hill, and I was just like, oh, I'm going to use that. And got a bunch of their textures. So I have a folder of all kinds of different Silent Hill textures, and I use them typically as reference. Like, this has been blown up super big, intentionally pixelized and scaled and funny. Like, it's modified, but it is not... like it's just so it's not completely ripped off. I just wanted it to be transformative, at least in some way.
Yes, the original Silent Hill is one of those games I could easily replay over and over, watch over and over. I don't know. Something about that game is super nostalgic for me. That's cool.
Yeah, and I actually really enjoyed making the Jeff character because I actually used texture layering. So I used Infrenza's technique for the texturing, like let's see, for the model itself, like for face. But for your face, what I did was I actually took. I wonder if it's actually it'll show up here. I think it's UV editing. Jeff face. Yep. I took the Jeff face, and I meshed. I used the mesh for just your face over top of one side and mirrored it. I think I got the wrong part here. Yeah, the clipping's a bit too short.
When did I make? I make faces all the time, but when did I make that one? What video was that from?
I actually, it was one at the time when I made this. It was part of like is one of the videos you put up or a live stream, and I just happened to freeze it on that frame, so I took a screenshot.
I'm always making some sort of weird face without even realizing it half the time. Sorry, I should have made
See if I
it
can
there.
zoom in on. Gotta see if I can pick something else here. For some reason, everything seems to be
Sorry again.
stopped. So let's
Getting
go-
overexposed.
No, not loud.
Ah,
I'll be sick forever. Ah. So we got Jeff Hector. There you
Oh.
are. You're hiding inside the boat.
hiding in plain sight on that.
See if I can isolate. Yeah, there we go.
What a handsome devil.
So there you go. Now I got it highlighted. You can actually see that your face was mirrored.
Hiding in the boat.
So I just projection mapped it and then did layers, UV layer mapping, or like you can have multiple sets of UV because you get your vertex groups and you got your UV maps. So I have a UV map for his body, a UV map for his face, and they layer each other.
Do they ever make holodecks? You have me all ready to go. I always have that face.
Yeah, that would actually be cool. I always wondered, like, what would be, aside from adult content, what would be the first thing that they would probably make in a holodeck? And I'm like, it's obvious, Doom. You got to put
game,
Doom on.
yeah.
The first game you ever got. If they ever make a holodeck, the first game they got to put on it is Doom, classic Doom.
That'd be cool to replay the retro games in like for real. Like you're the character. That man, we would never leave our houses again. That's for sure.
So that was the silent doc that I was working on. I have another one like I was trying to make Jeff into like a rubber character falling down a thousand flights of stairs, but it's the physics is just bogging down my computer, and I must be doing it wrong, so I need to research that a bit more. But I think this is for that little video I did on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, which is funny because I was showing doing the stream test with Jeff yesterday, and I played the original video that got copyright struck.
What?
Just because I played the original TikTok it came from, it got copyright struck.
Come on, so lame.
So I just immediately went into my videos and deleted it. I don't care if you're gonna pull that crap. I'm like, it doesn't need to be on my profile.
Really, it's like some losers like, oh, he's like we're making money off of we're advertising for you pretty much, or showcasing your stuff, and the first thing you think of is banning anyone who does that. Get lost. Get over yourself, you know. Anyway, sorry, my ranting going on.
Yeah, it's no worries. So
I should make more rants.
So for this one, what I ended up doing was match moving from the original TikTok video. So I put that as the background, and I actually animated Soap here to do all the keyframes. And all the keyframes are essentially all the major movements. So, and then if the automatic in-betweens ended up going like through, like sometimes if you put an arm out and then you animate a sudden movement to the other side, the arm will go through their body to get to the other side. So you have to add additional keyframes in between in order to make sure that they go around their own volume.
Just like in real life.
Yeah.
Like, just put your arm through your body.
So once I had one animated and they all used the same skeletons type, They all have the exact same number of bones. They're all labeled the same. I just copied the animation data. I linked it across to the other characters, and they just followed along. And I could move them around wherever they were I wanted them, and they would still do the same dance. Like I'd play the original, but I don't want to get struck again.
I know. Struck for what? So dumb. Like the guy, like he making millions of dollars off that video. Come on. I was famous one time, so now I'm gonna.
And like the day after I made this and I posted it, someone came up with an AI that will take a 2D video and make a 3D model that will dance for you. That'll copy the animation, like the movement of the character in the video. And it's
Wow,
like,
they have an AI
really?
for everything, eh?
It's like,
Again, why make an AI for that even?
But then again, like if I use AI, I'm not learning anything. So I wanted to, so I looked at it and go, I learned a lot about animation and motion by doing it myself. So
well, that's the thing. AI is going to do everything for us now. No one's going to know anything.
yeah, and so if it breaks, I can fix it. But if I just use an AI to do all the work for me, then I didn't learn anything. And if I don't have access to the AI anymore, what am I going to do?
What was that the Disney movie with that little robot and the fat people on the flying ship? What was that called?
Wall-E.
That's our future. That's going to happen. We're going to be
probably.
so damn pampered from AI, we're going to not even walk anymore.
Yeah, so the set that I'm using here is actually painstakingly recreated the background for the first level of Out of This World, or Another World, depending on which version you're playing.
It's out of this world. Yeah. Even though it originated over there.
This is a Lister and Soap. I got the set. It's not one-to-one. Like, I had to take some creative liberties, but there was actually a vast difference. I was actually using screenshots from the SNES version, and instead of like
the DOS version,
like the HD remaster. The HD remaster changed it. Like the graphics they're on par, but they're better. So this is actually
HD remaster is a cool,
like
good,
the lines. The lines in the background in the sky, the crescent moon bits, like they stand out more. They're more detailed, and for some reason, for me, it doesn't feel like it's the right background. It feels different, and I wanted to capture that feeling, and so I recreated it the best I could. I even put like the moon,
Agent Greedy's asking what website is best for finding sprites and textures from games, and also what is the best way of making sprites. Well, I could tell you where I go for sprites, but I don't. Making them is. Yeah, I've made my own once or twice, maybe.
Yeah, I know you've made sprites. I remember. Didn't you upload like something that they didn't have?
Yeah, once like from. I'm gonna put a link to where I go in the chat in just a second. Why is it showing up this? Not the Spriter's resource. Oh no, it is the Spriter's resource. Yeah, for Ogre Battle, I put up one and they actually accepted it because I'm surprised it had every single freaking thing from that game, except for that one like battle background or something, and for Ogre Battle. Otherwise, yeah, like I always thought about making more sprites because I know how to make them now and I know what they expect, like what kind of layout they want, but I'm just too lazy. It takes a lot of time.
And there's models resources. That's where like LSD files were located.
Oh yeah, there's all models resources. I think it's like the actual 3D render models and stuff. And then there's this one. So many. These are the best places. There's more websites, but these are like the best. They're still being updated all the time. And it's in the chat screen.
No, there's an app that I have used in the past to make sprites, which I actually have on Steam. I can bring
Well, I
it up
made
here.
sprites. Whenever I made them in like Adobe Flash at the time or something. Like that's how I animated them. I still do it that way, which I'm not sure is the best way.
So a sprite, I it's lightweight and a lot of people use this to make sprites because you can actually when you're as you're making sprites, it's like an animation program, and it also can create a sprite sheet. So it'll put all the images in one big atlas, and then you can use that in games or in stuff like I know that for when Jeff wanted to extract those faces from the the last LSD video, and you sent me the link to those all those the models that you were using that you got off of the model resource. I actually imported it into Blender, and there was a lot of stuff in it. I couldn't make sense of what it was because the textures didn't load properly. So I imported it into Godot and was able to look at it properly and get a better feeling of what it was. And then I realized that a lot of the textures were actually translucent. That's why I wasn't seeing it correctly.
See, I never
And
heard of this aspirate thing. It's because I never look up anything new.
I'm always on the look for, like, on the hunt for stuff. And one of the main reasons why I like Sprite is because it's a one-time purchase. I don't need a subscription. It's DRM free. So I could technically install it, put it on a flash drive, plug the flash drive into someone else's computer, and still use it.
Oh, that's great. I like portability. But whenever I made sprites, I did it the old-fashioned way. I would use an emulator that was like when you did a screenshot, it kept the like default resolution. It didn't enlarge it.
Right.
And I took like I took screenshot after screenshot. I would pause the game, go frame by frame, take a screenshot of each frame and cut it out. That's how I did it. Now, there's probably so much easier, better way of doing it. I just didn't know, like, this thing, whatever, however it works.
There was, I wonder if I still have an example. Just taking a quick look here.
Like I use S9, SNES9X is what I use, and Nestopia. I mean, if I can't find the sprites on Spider's Resource, I make my own. Like the Out of This World sprites.
Oh yeah,
I made a whole whack of my own because you can't find them really.
The sprites technically don't exist.
Yeah.
They're vector drawings. The game is drawing it using math, not actual sprites.
So I always thought about uploading those to Spider's Resource, but at the same time, I don't have it in the manner that they want it. Like I don't have that many. Like I have to redo them all. That's what I'd have to do, and I don't feel like doing that.
Like, yeah, you got more important things to do as it is.
Yeah, it'd take me forever. And I'm like, I just use whatever I made in the past.
Just gonna check my projects here.
Do I
I
use
think I have it in the reset file.
This is a kind of a budget site that I put in the chat.
These are all just sketches.
I seldomly go there, but it still exists. It's still being updated. But if you go to Sprite's Resource and go to the top of the page, it has tabs for all their other resource pages. There's actually one for sound effects, but you'll notice a lot of stuff is incomplete, or some people will put like one sound, like they create a whole game file and directory for one sound effect, or I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like a lot of stuff is unfinished and can be really annoying, especially when you need something. Or another thing I don't like about like the sound website is like when you download the sound kit for a game, again half the sounds are missing or they're not named. They're just like DSC1, DSC2 or something. I'm like, why
Yeah,
don't you just
they're
name
not
them what the sound
descriptive in
effect
any way.
is? Not to listen to every single one to find the sound I want. Like that's so annoying. And I get why they did it, but probably because there's like a 200 sounds in the game or whatever. But still, it's like if you're gonna go this far, can you go a little bit farther and name them? So I'm not listening to 200 sound effects to find one. I'm being nitpicky now. Like I would name them.
I am not sure which files these are. Let's just open something and see what it is.
I had to mute a second to get the mucus out of my face.
Demucusify. Where was it? It was DOS game, I think. Blender files. It was 2B was I working on before. Allow execution. Yeah, this is definitely from an older version.
Right, I'm back.
Yeah,
Agent Grady also asked, thank you. Another question, how good is that program for making FPS sprites? That one that Miles mentioned? I have no idea. I never used it.
Like FPS?
Have you used it?
Like what, for first-person shooters? That's weird.
Like, have you tried using that sprite program you showed earlier?
Like Doom, like making like Doom-esque sprites or something? Like, because depending on what engine you're using, like, because I know that Godot and Unity can use sprite atlases, so you can actually, very easily use sprites in 2D. But I guess it all depends on what platform you're using it in.
I never tried looking at first-person sprites. Like, I figured Doom would have a billion of them everywhere, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah, like sprites for like OG Doom and stuff like that. Like, I've done work like that before. I'm just gonna install this locally quickly.
But maybe every other game is like more obscure to find stuff for it. I never tried looking. I don't think.
Yeah.
Does Sprite's Resource have that stuff?
I was trying to find an example. Let me just relaunch Blender here. Cause I had
so many anime games on here.
I want to say it was one of these. No animation, no weapon.
I was looking through what the hell, Donkey Kong? Yeah, like if you go on Sprite's Resource, there's tons of. Oh no, like that's what I mean. If you go like Sprite's Resource for Doom, all they have is like start menu, like main menu stuff and the HUD and H or whatever. Like, yeah, there's like no enemy sprites.
Go to materials.
Except for the Lost Soul, for some reason. You think Doom would be like the most popular one, but they have nothing on there for it. That's so weird. I never bothered to look before. Like, this is I put the URL in the chat when I'm talking about it.
I don't think I actually embedded the. No, I did.
I think I didn't. Maybe you know what? I didn't check their models resource page. Maybe it's on there instead, since they're kind of 3D-ish. Let me see if they're on there. Yeah, it's on there too. No, it's all just levels.
Yeah, it's just characters.
Here's on textures.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with a game with a friend, and that we were trying to create different recruits, but I don't seem to have that file I was working with. Maybe it was just too.
No. Not even on textures resource. They just have minuscule things on there. Weird.
No, it's just a base mesh.
Well, I'm sure there's got to be third-party sites that have. I mean, this Doom is like the most popular game in theory. Like, you really think about it. I mean, the very first PC game I ever played, actually, for DOS was side-scrolling Duke Nukem.
This is it.
Very first
Right.
PC
So
game.
this was actually something I made. I was trying to make a very simple, generic character for a game, and so I was just going through different poses and stuff, and then I had all these different cameras from different like isometric angles. Let's see, get a better view here.
Who is this guy again?
It's just a generic soldier that I made.
Oh, okay.
It was a very slapdash character, but I have like all these different camera views from various rotations because I wanted it to be like an isometric 3D game. And then what I did was I rendered all those out as individual pictures as frames, imported it into Sprite so that I could bring it down and like make it more pixely, more low res. And then make a giant atlas, but I had so many frames that it crashed every time I tried to export it. I even went on Twitter and I was trying to get support from the actual developer, and he couldn't figure out why it was doing it. But I'm pretty sure it's because I was maxing out the amount of RAM I had on my system.
I guess you really need a super beefy computer for 3D rendering. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Well, one of these days, one of us is going to get a large sum of money and we can pig out, so to speak, on tech.
Yeah, so it took a bit to actually do. Like, I had to figure out where to put all the cameras and everything, because each of the cameras looks at the model in a different way. So it was just like pick a camera, make it active, render. Pick a camera, make it active, render. And just way I just iterated that over and over and over again. So I would get all the animations for each different camera angle, and then I would put them in. And this way, I would actually have like all the animations in a strip in Sprite, and on each layer. And it was too much for the game to handle. I was just like, well, if it's too much for Sprite to work with, then it would probably be too much for any game engine to actually work with.
I gotta get that app, that Sprite thing you're talking about now. Never thought I gotta look into that. An anonymous artist said the Doom World folks probably know everything about the sprites. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I imagine it must be something similar to what I'm doing with Out of This World sprites. I'm just hoarding them. I'm too lazy to share with people, so they're out there. Just no one's sharing them, I guess.
Yeah, you can import sprite sheets. So if I were to go to Spriter's resource and I would get like a sprite sheet from I don't know, like Final Fantasy VI or something, I could import it and it would put it in like at the animation player down the bottom, and you can just see the different animations. What I always found charming about this is that it's a pixel art application in pixel art format. And so the application itself is pixel art.
It's a very particular way how you have to make sprite sheets. I mean, I think it's a certain, like, you have to be like the default resolution. It can't be enlarged. It must be like it's a super tiny sheet that when you enlarge it, it doesn't take away from the quality. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, you can make it 50 times the size and it still looks like a game sprite. It still looks smooth and everything. Hard to explain. It's like, yes, it's pixel resize, not. It's hard to explain. I guess I'd have to show it on my computer to make sense. But I'm gonna look up something here and put it into. What the heck? On the PSP SNES.
Can't go to my drive.
You're gonna put something in the chat. You gotta pull it up on the screen.
Oh
Important.
dear! Oh no!
Oh, it's important. My only contribution. The only contribution I made to the site. There's a delay on my end.
Download this sheet.
Yay, that's it. That was easy enough for me to do. Yeah. Ogre battle in the background. But yeah. Otherwise, I always felt like making some sheets for some games that haven't been done yet. I'm just
There you go. Like, did you just go into the game and just turn off a bunch of layers and take a screenshot?
Yeah, when you take a screenshot from the emulator, it takes it at the, I don't know how to explain it. It takes it like a default resolution, which is super tiny, but that's how it has to be. So if you were to like make it bigger, it wouldn't wouldn't degrade the resolution. It's like a pixel resize. I don't know. I don't know how to
usually the interpolation for a lot of applications where we would zoom in on a pixel thing and it makes it all blurry. You want linear or nearest neighbor as the interpolation. Otherwise, it's going to try to alias everything and everything goes fuzzy.
Yeah, and it destroys the scaling and resolution. And yeah, I think for this, I actually had to kind of. I turned off layers, but I don't think some of the layers didn't take everything away, so I had to like erase it myself, like where the colored boxes are. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to make this about me. I decided.
No, it's a good example. It's a very good example.
Well, that was an easy one to do too, whereas I didn't have to like take out specific characters and every single movement they make. Oh my god, make a sprite sheet out of that.
I am going to save this into my tools.
Yeah, it's one of the video game deaths video. That's why I was doing this. I was looking for sprites and they didn't have that background, so I.
Well, at least you gave back to the community. You know, a lot of people just don't.
I'm surprised they accepted it because it's funny with the sprites. I found a forum that had sprites for that game, Shadow of the Beast. I think it was like part 2. I reviewed it, obviously. They didn't have any of those sprites on Spider's Resource, so I emailed them and I said, "Hey, can I contribute these?" And like, no, if you didn't make them, you're not allowed to contribute them. I'm like, but I'm not making money off of this. They won't accept it if you didn't make them. I'm like, it's so weird. I mean, I wouldn't take credit for it. I was like, here's the guy who made it. And like, nope. I'm like, but how do you know if they're telling the truth that they made it? You know what I mean? Like. It's such a weird ruling. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not
blatantly go in and just if it has like a watermark with his name on it, you just put an X through it and put your name over top of it.
I mean, I could, right? But I even told him like, I'm not taking credit for it. Here's the guy on the forum who made it. I'm giving him credit. And like, nope. I'm like, okay. I mean, this is too bad. You guys these sprites are really good.
I wonder if you told him it was a collaborative effort between you and him.
No, it wasn't at all, but still.
Yeah.
It's a weird ruling.
He did the work. You actually uploaded it. It's collaborative.
Yeah, I mean, why? Yeah, like why is that? That's a weird problem. Like if I'm profiting from it, I get that rule, but it's free.
The Doom World. Just so you know, the Doom World folks are really helpful. I did actually use a lot of the forum entries there to learn how to do a bunch of stuff, and I wish I still had it. I don't know what I did with it. Was that Cyberpunch arena that I made for GZ Doom back in the day?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and essentially what it was, I'll just have to describe it because I don't have it. I made a maze. It was a multiplayer maze, and as you are going through the maze, it was I think 5-6 players. You go through the maze. Whoever makes it to the center of the maze and hits the button first resets everyone out to the edges of the maze, and all the walls descend into the ground, and a central column will open up, and there's a cyber demon in there. But the whole thing is that there's no weapons, so I actually had to like make it so that the game would take all your weapons away, only give you your fist, and it also had a health bar at the top of the screen with the cyber demon's health. And sure enough, like we had a blast trying to play it. Like trying to kill a cyber demon with your fist is not easy. It takes a while.
Oh my god, yeah, it took forever.
And sure enough, our buddy Steve in Downzarillo, he decides I'm just gonna hold back. Wait, where's the life to get down to 1? Run up, punch him, and steal the win. And he did. And he won.
That was
I
the
totally didn't
only
think of
time
that.
the only time I tried to do a friendly competition LAN thing that completely failed.
Yeah,
But that was also back in the early days of landing when half the games didn't friggin' work and it
yeah.
was hard, chore to get going.
It's when I had time to actually figure stuff out. And I wanted to make things more complicated. I was using it as a launching point, and it like we did it. We had fun, but it's not one of those things we wanted to play again. So it was just like, okay, my initial idea was bad. Because what I really wanted to do was take the board game Omega Virus and recreate it in Doom, and try to adapt it so that it's more action packed and more team based. But like, it was way too much work, and I couldn't get the scripting right. It would just fail, and I couldn't figure out why. And the only problem is because as I'm playing it, I'm realizing I'm setting this up. There's too many ways around it, so you could always find an exploit to like get around stuff, and I'm guaranteed. It just immediately threw me back to that one time we were playing. Oh, what was that game called? I want to say Nuclear Dawn.
Oh, right, I remember that.
Yeah, it was you, me, Jesse. We were, and it was just all of us against Jesse, because someone can play the game as like an RTS, and everybody else can take control of different characters and like as a hero, and just try to attack. And he exploited turrets to no end. It's like he stymied our ability to move at all, that to the point where I got so mad I rage quit the game. And
I put it in the chat, the game you're talking about. But yeah, I remember that. We played it for a short while. I remember that now.
But just because Jesse managed to figure out how to exploit the game right away, it just ruined it.
Yeah, I forgot he did that. I wonder if they like nerfed that maybe since then. But
oh, probably not. I don't think they've touched it.
2011, yeah, it's super old. I was again the dawn of our landing experience when it was starting to normalize.
Yeah, so whenever I'll get started on a game project and I'll get so far and I'll be like, nope, I can already see how people are going to exploit this and ruin the fun. And I just stop.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That is what it is.
Fun for sure. Wow. Other than that, yeah, we're running out of land games to play. Eh? Like we're just.
I know. Yeah, I don't know what the trend is. Why is it that so many games limit to the players to 4 or 5?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Our LANs are typically 8 people.
I know. It's like now they're making games smaller and smaller. Like, what are they gonna have? 2-player games again? Like, why are we going backwards here? Because they're doing the Final Fantasy syndrome. They're focusing more on the graphics and effects and visuals, and less on the gameplay. It's like you're kind of going backward here.
Yeah, I'd
rather have a crappy looking game that's super fun and 8 players than an amazing, realistic looking game that I can only play by myself.
And what always gets me is games that are heavily reliant on like servers, so that if they shut down the servers, the game's useless.
Oh, I hate that too. Like, that's like my Android game, the Final Fantasy Record Keeper. I'm so pissed that we're not updating the game anymore, so you can't play it anymore. Well, what the hell? How about you just leave the game online and you're not updating it? I was still playing it. Nope, completely obliterated. Can't play it anywhere. It's gone. Doesn't exist. Like what the hell?
It's and I get it. It's money. It's like it all comes down to money. It's just like they can't afford to keep running the servers. But it's like, if you're gonna shut it down, could you at least open source the server so that enthusiasts can keep going if they can run the server if they want to?
Exactly. Like,
or it's like how Blizzard and Activision would shut down people running shard servers for a while, and then sure enough they come up with like WoW Classic, which is like pre-Burning Crusade, but it's not the same.
Yeah, WoW was fun when we first discovered it and everyone was playing at the same time, but That day is come and gone. I don't think it can ever be replicated. Unless you get a brand new, different game.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. But what are they saying in the comments here? Shutdowns are the reason I stopped getting attached to MMOs, as anonymous artist said. And Chris Dreyer said, accursed farms tries to fight back against graveyards and such.
Yes. Ross he's been actively trying to fight back against it, and he just does a lot of stuff with that. Like his dead game news and stuff, which I don't think he's updated in a while, but there's been probably a lot more games now that have just faded away that you can't play anymore. And
Accursed Farms, is that a company? What is that?
Accursed Farms, he does Freeman's Mind.
I need to get out more.
you remember Freeman's Mind? And Ross's Game Dungeon. I'll bring him up.
I don't think I do. What's wrong with me? Maybe if I saw it, I would know what it is.
Yeah, no worries. I'll bring it up.
Old man powers. But yeah, MMOs I haven't played in a while either. I used to love the Star Wars Old Republic MMO. That was fun for a long time, and then stopped playing that.
Yeah, Accursed Farms. It's Ross Scott. His Game Dungeon and Freeman's Mind.
Just waiting for the YouTube video to catch up.
He also did Civil Protection. Like Freeman's Mind, where he's going through like Half-Life and Half-Life 2 as the inner monologue of Gordon Freeman.
Oh,
you don't remember that?
No.
Oh, I used to play it all the time, like when he used to come over.
What? Hang on, maybe YouTube's still catching up. I'm only right now seeing you scroll through Accursed Farms videos, but I don't see you.
He's like dirt. Yeah, he's doing season 2. He's still making episodes of it, but he's also, I think, working on a couple other projects as well, so that there's long innings between episodes now.
Was he uploading like once every few months or something?
Yeah. But he does live streams every now and again, like he did one 11 days ago. I never catch them, but I sometimes will just watch them after the fact. It's VOD.
Oh, Agent Grady said it's bad that you have to sign up to Cyber One to play Play-Doh computer games from the 70s. What is that?
Really?
Play-Doh
paywall?
Play-Doh's like,
why?
I don't even know what Play-Doh computer games are. It sounds familiar.
Let's change my background.
The oldest games I've ever played were for the Atari 800. That was before Nintendo. And
so I remember playing a TriStar, which is like a knockoff of a ColecoVision, was just Pong. It's just Pong.
The Pong consoles. It wasn't until Angry Video Game Nerd that I realized there's so many damn Pong consoles. Like, what?
Yeah, it had 2 dials on it, and that's how you controlled the paddles.
It's so weird that used to be a thing. Like, that was a trendy thing. Pong consoles. Times have changed. I used to love the Atari 800. I had like 100 games for the damn thing, I swear. I wish I kept the discs even though they didn't work anymore.
Yeah. Well,
got
a minute left, so I think right now what we need to do is segue to our sponsor.
Oh, yeah, sponsor.
Commando.
Is sponsored by fucking nobody.
Damn it.
Commando.
Yeah, no sponsor.
Fucking nobody. Yeah, it's like usual. That's like the ET video. No, because no one will sponsor me.
Nobody will. And if anyone does want to sponsor, it's probably for like, it'll probably be for something that we have nothing to do with, like soap or something.
But even then, I don't know how we'll know when we have a legit sponsor. Like I get emails on my business account, and I don't even know if these are all spam or real.
And most of them is spam. It's spam or fake, or they just want you to join some sort of network.
Yeah, so I don't know how you're supposed to tell. So who knows? Maybe we could have a sponsor. We just don't know we can.
Yeah, we're not big enough for that. I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah, exactly. We're small fry, but whatever. We have a cult following. That's good enough. That's what really matters. But what Agent Grady? You're
So, just as a closing here, now that it's noon, just gonna throw it out there. Let me just grab this here. I don't know if anyone wants it.
Hang on, Agent Grady said they were referring to the Play-Doh games. He said these were RPG games and computers in universities during the 70s. Not only were they the first RPGs, but also FPS and other such. Oh, I had no idea. Oh, and Chris says he's a spam account. You're a pretty good spam account.
So I'm just gonna throw this out here. If whoever wants to grab it first, if they don't have a copy of Vermintide, now you can have one.
I'm gonna fight over it.
Yeah, go fight over it. Go.
I guess whoever clicks on copies and pastes it first, I guess, or whatever.
Well, you got now that it's on screen, you have to type it out.
Oh, that's true. No, wait. Oh, yeah, you can't. It's not in the chat. So.
Not in the chat. I'm not gonna put it in the chat. It's too easy for someone to grab. You got to put some effort into it. There you go. Have a copy of Vermintide.
The game's okay. I liked it. It's just, it's not for me. It's not bad. I just got bored of it quickly.
Yeah,
too much melee.
It was fun, but yeah. Thanks for coming out to the stream, everybody.
Yeah,
it's nice to see you guys, Chris and Agent Grady,
Anonymous Artist,
Titanium was there earlier, and
Titanium,
Specky,
CX Specky. Who else is there?
And if there's anyone that wasn't in the comments or anything or in the chat, you can always just leave a comment or join our Discord, and or you can always check out Jeff's Patreon. I don't have a screen for that, so
that's okay.
No big deal. But yeah, and so thanks for joining us, and I really appreciate Jeff you co-hosting with me today.
Oh yeah, thanks for hosting today. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Take some pressure off you, I guess. And then if I do any more streams, I'll probably end up doing them on my channel or simulcasting if I ever figure that out to both. But
yeah, for sure. And if you ever do post on your channel, let me know, and I'll put it in my community section too, or in Discord and whatever, and people will know more.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Or just join Miles' channel and you find it yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try to do more videos on like updates and stuff, or because I really want to, like I said, I want to make new models for animations and stuff, and do more intros, and hopefully I'm learning Godot, so I want to be able to make a game at some point. Even if it's just shovelware, I don't care. I just want to make something. I have made where I'm working on a Flappy Bird clone just to learn the basics. And it's coming along, so we'll see what happens.
Well, by the way, Anonymous Artist got the game, so he said thank you.
Oh, excellent! I hope you enjoy that. Well, I'm gonna take that off my list now that it's been claimed. If I can.
But yeah, so yeah, Miles. Hopefully, we need to motivate each other to post more and to stream more, and for myself, just to let you know, I'll be back on schedule next month for December with worst games and behind the scenes and all that. So
what is the next video that you have lined up?
Oh, it's a surprise.
I like surprises.
It's not gonna be LSD or Rydell. It's gonna be a different game for a change. A different
nice,
terrible, bad game. 2 of them.
Oh, even better.
Oh, boy.
Cool. All right. Well, you guys, everybody have a great day, and we'll
Yeah,
see you in
thanks
the
for coming.
Discords and around the ether tubes.
Yeah, see you guys.
Later.